Hey, this is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads, and today I'll be walking you through your digital marketing attack plan to show you how you could turn your website into a lead generation machine and really generate some revenue for your business month over month. Now, if you take a look at the top here, we're looking at AC repair in Houston, which generates about 1,600 searches per month. Now, obviously, there's a lot more searches out there when you take into account different search terms like AC installation or maybe AC repair near me. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to focus on AC repair in Houston. And let's talk about how you could turn those 1,600 searches a month into revenue for your business by starting with your website. So we're on your website, and as I scroll down, I think you have a very visually aesthetic website, but from an SEO perspective, there's a lot of things that we can improve on. And now what we're going to be talking about first is internal search engine optimization, which is essentially all the different things we can do on your website to help you rank higher. Now, when we talk about this, you're going to hear a lot of fancy things like title tags, heading tags, local business schema. But for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on the two most important things, which are content and keywords. So let's start with content. Normally I like to recommend websites have about 750 to 1,000 words of content on them for each web page, and obviously you can mix it and match it depending on how you want to go. And the reason being is that a content-full website tends to get a lot more favorable rankings from Google. And it makes sense when you think about it because content gives users something to engage with. When a user has something to engage with, they have a positive experience that normally leads them to come back to that website or use Google again in the future. So, it's a win-win scenario for Google to promote your website because, like I said, it does bring them return business. However, we can't just throw up any content on our website. You're probably saying, well, Justin, why don't I just throw up a website with 5,000 words on it and call it a day? And the reason we can't do that is because we need to make sure that our content is relevant. We don't want to rank for roofing terms and we don't want to rank for landscaping terms because those aren't going to help us. We want to rank for AC related terms. And the way we do that is by having the correct keywords. Now, keywords are the most used words or phrases on a website. And based on these keywords, Google is going to determine what our website is about. Normally, I like to tell people with our first 5 to 6 keywords, we want to answer the 3 main questions for Google, which are, what industry are we in? Or what do we do? Where do we do it? And lastly, who are we? So let's see if your keywords currently answer those 3 main integral questions for Google. And if they don't, we'll talk about how we can answer those questions correctly. A tool I use called Keywords Everywhere. And if we scroll down here, you'll notice your most used keywords to your least used. And obviously, we're focusing on the first 5 to 6 because those are the first really, really, really stressed keywords to Google. So let's talk about those. So number one, I always recommend an industry-specific keyword. In your case, you have repair. I would actually flip that with air. So I would have air at number one. Obviously, the usage is the same currently, but I would have air at number one because that's a very popular AC related term. It seems to be the most common one used amongst all competitors in your area. And then at number two, I would have an industry modifier like repair or installation to complement that first keyword. So really just flipping these two around and then you got it right. And then at the number 3 and 4 spot, I always recommend having your location. I see you put Houston at number 5, but I would put it at 3 and 4 to put more stress on that location because that's going to tell Google where we do business and really force them to drive local traffic to our business. Now, number 5 and 6, I recommend having your brand in there. Having your brand in there helps you rank for your own business on a national and a local level because it's really disappointing to see a business do so well and then not be willing to rank for their brand or getting outranked for their brand name in the future. So always important to have our brand at that 5 and 6 spot. So to recap, number 1 and 2 are industry keywords, number 3 and 4 are location keywords, and number 5 and 6 are branding keywords. Obviously, I always recommend you further optimize after that, but really with those first 6 keywords, you want to hit on those 3 questions as soon as possible. Let's take a look at your competitors and see what they're doing as far as keywords go. Are at AirTech of Houston, and they are the number 1 organically ranking company for AC repair in that area. And let's see why that is. So if we go down their website, you're going to see this page is all content. In fact, there's nothing else on this page except for content. So definitely something to think about, and you see the favorable actions of Google when you have this very content-full website because they have over 1,000 words just on this page alone. But let's take a look at their keywords because obviously you can't just rank with content. You need relevant content along with a variety of other factors. But let's take a look at their keywords and see what they're using. Tech of Houston, and if we scroll down here, you'll notice that they have air at number 1. Like I said, very popular industry-specific keyword. Then they have their location at number 2, then service, then home. So it starts to fall off a little bit after those first 2 or 3. But ultimately, like I said, really stress that location. You had it at number 5, they had it at number 2. So they really found it super important for them to really get that local traffic. And then obviously they put air at number 1. And then also, like I said, use this as a guide for your keywords because this works for them. However, also take into account what I told you as far as the layout, and kind of mix and match what you think works the best and then further optimize after that. But let's go back to your website and talk about external search engine optimization and kind of how it ties into everything. About external search engine optimization, and unlike internal SEO, external SEO is going to be everything we can do away from our website to improve our search appearance. In this case, we're going to be talking about backlinking. Now, backlinking is very simple. At face value, it's just a link from one website to another, and when you click on that link, obviously it redirects to that site. Now, very simple at face value. However, from an SEO perspective, there's a lot more going on. So when one website links to another, essentially what they're doing is transferring SEO power from one web page to the next. And what else is going on top of that is that it's acting as a reference to Google saying, hey, I trust the information that comes from this website, or I trust this business. So very powerful thing when you get a quality backlink from a quality website, and you can really see your rankings start to climb. However, really focus on the word quality here because you have to walk a fine tightrope when backlinking, because if you get bad backlinks, it essentially acts as a bad reference to Google and tells Google that you are also a spammy site. So happens all the time. You see somebody go on Fiverr and buy $50 worth of links, they get 10,000 backlinks, and their site crashes 50 rankings. And like I said, that is no mistake because those are bad backlinks for your business. So really focus on the quality of your backlink structure. Let's go to a tool I have called Ahrefs and take a look at the current backlinks that you have for your business. So here we are in a tool I use called Ahrefs, and currently you generate an 11 UR and a 23 DR, which puts you in the top 100 for 37 keywords, but you also only generate one organic user every single month. So let's talk about these metrics and what they mean. So UR stands for URL rating, and what that is the individual power given to a single web page. So in this case, we're just talking about your air conditioning service page in the Houston area. Now, DR stands for domain rating, and what that is the power that goes through your entire website. So now we're talking about, your home page, all these other service pages, the About Us page, everything combined in one is summarized in DR. So we want the best of both metrics along with a strong internal SEO structure to create the best results possible. Let's keep working down the line and take a look at your competitors to see what they're doing as far as external SEO goes. So here we have AirTex of Houston again with a 33 UR, a 36 DR, puts them in the top 100 for 2,000 keywords, and they see about 2,300 users every single month. Another important stat to look at is the traffic value stat, $64,000 a month, and the way that's calculated is by where each user comes from and the buyer intent assigned to that keyword. So, for instance, somebody who comes from the term air conditioning might have a little bit of buyer intent, but not as much as somebody who comes from AC repair. And the reason that is that somebody who's looking for air conditioners might be looking for a picture of an air conditioner, maybe an AC installation or repair. You don't know what they're looking for that's air conditioning related. Whereas somebody who's looking for AC repair directly is obviously looking for a repair, and 99% of the time is looking for an immediate service. So a lot more buyer intent when you have that ready to buy type of attitude or search word. So definitely something to think about because they're generating about $64,000 a month off of some high buyer intent keywords. Let's keep working down the line though. So we have Marcos AC with a 19 UR, 8.8 DR, about 763 users per month, and about $20,000 in traffic value. We have Village Plumbing with a 2 UR and a 27 DR and only 137 users per month, which generates them about 6K worth of value. So you clearly see a correlation between a stronger external SEO structure when you mix it with that strong internal SEO structure and the results that you can generate as far as organic traffic goes. But let's talk about the Google search engine results page and the Google Map Pack. In the Google search engine results page, and if we scroll down, what we've been talking about is the organic search results down here. But if we go back up, you'll see the Google Map Pack. This is really important because it essentially gives businesses two different places that they can win on Google. Like I said, down below you can win, or in the Map Pack. And if you can do both and get the number one spot in each, then you guarantee that 1,600 people every month see your business first before looking at another competitor. So very, very important, very, very, a lot of potential, I guess, to say more than anything. Just to sum it all up, just a lot of potential if you can rank number one in both. But, what are they looking for and how do you get into the map pack? So to get in, you have to verify your business via postcard. However, to rank in the map pack, you have to first fill out that form to 100%. That way you give them as much information about your business as possible. Number two, you have to have a strong organic rank, which is why SEO is so important. Not only does it help you down below, but it also influences the map pack. And then number three, you have to have citations. Now, citations are all the different places your business's name, address, and phone number are listed online. Some popular citations are like Yelp, the Yellow Pages, the Yellow Books. All those are different citations you can get for your business. Let's take a look at all the citations each of these companies has using a tool I have called Whitespark, and we'll determine how many you'll need, along with all the other factors we talked about to go in and start competing with them for that top spot. So here we are in Whitespark, and as you'll see at the top, we have Richmond's Air with 14 citations, ASAP Air with 63, and H-Town AC with 23. So all in all, there's a little bit of competition here, but nothing too severe. Normally, I like to recommend doubling the biggest amount in there. So if they have 63, you're going to need 126 citations to really go in there and rank well, along with all the other things we talked about before. Now, once again, you need every single facet of SEO. You can't just do the internal or the external. It's got to be both, along with the GMB services, to create the strongest results possible. And I hope everything in this video was very educational for you. We've seen businesses time and time again use these strategies to, boost their search results and really generate some business. Obviously, there were a lot of things we didn't get to talk about in this video for the sake of time. So we'd love to set up a meeting with you to talk about those or maybe any questions you had during this video. Once again, my name is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads, and thanks for watching.